see, the guitar's dried to a nice hard finish. So the next stage is to give it a good flat. As you can see, I've started there, couldn't resist. We've got to get all this raised wood grain down, make a nice smooth finish for the final clear coat, probably 3 or 4 coats, then we'll flat that again, and then we'll polish that up. But yeah, I think you'll agree, it's starting to look nice. We've also done some work on the neck, so the next stage on this is lemon oil to actually improve the look of the fretboard, and then we're going to dress the edge of the frets, get rid of the sharpness. So I'm going to wet flat first with just a little bit of 800 wet and dry, and just a piece of wood I've using as a block to get a nice flat finish. Just going in sort of cross-hatch sort of motion, try and get the surface as flat as possible. With it being a candy, there's going to be some lighter areas the more material I take off, because it's a translucent paint, but that doesn't bother me too much. The only thing that I am a little bit concerned is where the wood grains come up here. I've got some light spots, don't know if you can see those on camera, but hopefully they'll go away. If they won't, I can always blow a little bit more paint on there just to hide it a little bit. But I don't mind it having a slight rustic sort of look, but I think it should be fine because that area there is smoothing out lovely. That's only a few passes, so we just keep on with this for a long time until it's all smooth. This is just a bit of water with a tiny bit of soap in it. Get it as smooth as we can, ready for the clear coat. And go all the way around the edges as well, make sure these are all smooth. Get as smooth and as clean as possible for the final clear, and then we'll get a nice job at the end. I'll just carry on with that bit, and we'll have a look. Just do this section here, see if that actual wood grain will actually flatten out a bit. I put plenty on there, so there should be plenty to actually work with. Let's have a look at that. It's smoothing out nice. The grain's starting to come through nice as well. I think we're going to be fine actually. A little bit more speckled through here, so we've got more work to do there. Let's give it a little bit of a close-up and let you have a look. You can see it's coming out nice and smooth now. That's where the repair was there, and I think that'll just look like a knot in the wood now. So I'm quite happy with the way that's come out. Yeah, just here, as you can see, these speckles, hopefully they will go when the clear's on top as well. I think that'll come out nice. I still might add a little bit more pearl yet, I don't know. Might be just been a little bit tarty with it. We shall see. Okay, some more flatting. I'll get it flatted all the way around, and then we'll get it hung up again, ready for the clear coat. And while the clear coat's drying, we'll dress the fret ends. Okay, so I've done a lot of wet flatting. In fact, I've flatted the entire body. Gone through a little bit there, but I think I've got a way of fixing that. Because on the front, the grain wasn't as enhanced as it is here, because I think I went slightly dark with the candy on the back. So what I've done, I have sprayed satin black aerosol over the top, and then wet flatted it all off. Just wet this up so you can see what it looks like with the lacquer on it. It's really brought the grain out like that. See that now? Oop, the camera. I think you'll agree. Oh, it's bloody lovely. So when the clear coat's on that and it's all flat, again it's going to have to be probably 5-6 coats of clear to actually fill the grain, because there's still some grain there that needs filling. But once that's all filled, I think I agree that's going to look bloody lovely. I've faded a little bit of black around the edge here as well, just a little bit of black aerosol, and on the edge here, but I am going to flat the actual central part of this out here, just to actually bring the colour through there, so it's going to be like a fade, darker, and then into light, then back into dark. So I'll show you how I did the back, how they did the black on the back, So I'll just give that a bit of a wipe. I'm just using window cleaner. It's good as a degreaser and a cleaner. There's no actual silicones or anything like that in it, so it makes a nice clean job. It's a nice cheap degreaser. So I just take the black aerosol. I'm just going to gently dust it on. Not heavy, just gentle dust, just fog it on, like so. Especially around the outside. Like so. On this side. Like that. So then what we'll do, we'll use an 800 wet flat, again, just standard 800 wet and dry paper. And when that's dry, we'll flat that back, concentrating more in the centre section, removing the top layer of black, showing the red candy underneath, and then hopefully that should leave a nice outline around the edge. So I'll let that dry for 5 minutes, go make a nice cup of tea, and we'll come and flat that. So as that's dry, and then I'll go in with the 800 wet, and I'll sand back the actual black to the candy underneath, and that should enhance the grain, because that will sit into the grain that didn't get filled with the candy. And as you can see straight away how nice that's going to look. A lot more wet flatting. And that repair there now looks like a knot in the wood, which is perfect. I think this is just going to enhance the finish a little bit. Yeah, still gone through there, but better touch that in with a little bit of dye probably. Hide that a little bit before the final clear. Get that nice sort of sunburst black look around the edge. Look at that, it's nice. Let's give that a bit of a wipe. Yeah, brought the grain out lovely now. Bit annoyed about that, but that's what happens, I'm afraid. I can still fix that. Flip around. So I'll continue to wet flat all this, get this all nice, get it to the exact sort of look I want. I'll go around the edges as well to remove any black just from the centre section. I'll just show you a quick piece of paper. Just from the centre section. There, see? Just showing the candy through now. So we still get that black. See? So now we'll just get the dark into the candy, into the dark, and back into the candy. So it gives that almost a burnt look around the edges. So I'll do that, continue that all the way around. And then we'll get it ready for clear. But before we do that, we'll have a look at the frets on the neck. So I'll continue with this first, and then I'll show you what I've done when it's finished, and then we'll have a look at the neck. So it's been about, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour since I started flatting, and I think you'll agree that looks really nice now. It's got that nice sunburst look, gone through all the way around the edges, giving it that slightly you can see that on camera. Yeah, you can just. Slightly sunburst look. As soon as the clear coat's on this, it'll improve it even more, make it all stand out even better. It'll get rid of that, if you can see that wood line through there as well. It'll make that disappear. So once it's flattened and polished, you won't see any of that. On the back as well, all the grains stand out really nice. I am still tempted to put a little bit of pearl over the top. I did put some pearl in the candy red, but you can hardly see it, so I may put a little bit around the edge. I don't know yet. I'll see how that goes. That repair's not too bad. Looks like a knot in the wood when it's flat. It's still got a slight dent. The filler's actually sunk back a little bit. So when I put the clear on that and then flat that, that'll be even flatter, so you shouldn't actually see that little mark there still I went through. So what I think I'm going to do, just dry that off. I think I'm just going to colour that in with a permanent pen like I did before. Just see if I can actually go with the grain a little bit. Find a pen that actually works. Smooth that and make it look like it's part of the actual grain. Again, it should look like a knot in the wood, in theory. Just add a little bit of detail, finer pen. Some general lines. Yeah. Okay. So now I think the body is pretty much ready for the next stage, which was going to be the clear coat. So yeah, I think that looks really nice. Again with the gold on there. Let's get the bridge. Let's tighten that up again because there's paint on there now, so it's tight. Yeah, with the gold that's going to look gorgeous. So I think I'm going to get the gold pickups as well, the gold covered pickups with the black surrounds. Maybe gold volume and tone knobs, I think. I think it just give it that sort of a lift as well, especially if I do a little bit of gold pearl around the outside edge, just around here. I'm not going to go mad. I mustn't go mad like I usually do and put pearl all over the place. I just do gold around the edge and maybe all over the back. Keep the front nice as it is. But yeah, I think we're getting there on that. Quite happy. So, like I say, next stage is clear coat. So that'll probably be a little bit later on in this video. So for the next stage, we're going to have a tidy up. Let's get that out of the way. So we'll have a tidy up, clear all this out of the way, and we'll bring the neck back across, and we'll start addressing the frets. Let's see if we can make those a little bit smoother. So I brought the neck back in. I did use a little bit of lemon oil just on there, just to see what it was like. So we'll be doing the lemon oil on the entire fretboard as well. It's just the Dunlop stuff. It's supposed to be quite a good make. So I was going to use this new fret file, which I mentioned in the last video, which has got this little indentation in it, like a little cut out. I think that's just to roll the tops. So I might go along with that and use that. I'll use my little modified file that I showed in the last video where I polished all the edges so they don't scratch the fretboard, just to denib the edges, which is what I usually do. So we'll go along first, just carefully knock the edges off. I don't like to go too mad with it. There's loads of videos on how to do this on YouTube, so I'm not going to go into too much detail about it. Marking that fret there, I might have to have a look at that. Something like that. Again, that's starting to feel better already, just taking that end off. So just give that a little go. Seems quite coarse. As long as it's not scarring the binding, which it doesn't look like it is doing. I might actually grind this off and polish this edge up like I did with the other file, just in case for one of the future jobs. Not bad. Right, to the other side. Cool. And like I said before, I like to use my little wet and dry block, emery board block, starting with the coarse side. I just basically, it's quite difficult to do this actually around the camera. Just like to just the same angle, if I can see it that way, the angle there. Put that along there. I go to the next grade, which is that one. And that one. And the final one. Yeah, much nicer. You can see the ends on there. Just do a little close up, let you have a better look. A lot more polish, rounded off, a lot better. Feels a lot better already. Just a few seconds with the file. Made it feel a lot nicer. It should play a lot nicer now. Okay, I'll polish the other side. Just remove a little bit of the dye as well from the binding. Excellent. So the next stage will be lemon oil on the fretboard, I think. We'll do a coat of polish on the actual wood. And we'll start building on the tuning pegs. So as you can see, the fret ends are a lot nicer now. Show you the other side. More like it, nicely polished and smooth, feel a lot better. I did actually see a few rough spots on a couple of the frets, so what I did was just use my little protector there and then just buff them up with the 4 grades, removed any little scratch marks, and I think I've done that, but I can always check that again after it's built and see if there's any dragging or marking, etc. So next stage is going to be the lemon oil. So I said before, it's just the Dunlop lemon oil. I've done that a little bit already, but I'll put a little bit more on there. Just to bring the colour out in the actual fretboard as well, in the ebony fretboard. Protect it a little bit as well. Make it a little bit smoother to play with. And that'll soak in. I might do a couple of coats, seeing as it's a brand new neck and it's never been treated. Smells nice and lemony. There's actually supposedly no actual lemon oil in it. Apparently it's just there for scent purposes only. That's quite nice, that little red. I don't know if you can see that on camera, that red wood grain through there, the natural side of that part of the fretboard. So it wasn't the cheapest neck, this. It was only, it was about £30, something like that, but it wasn't the most expensive. So it's probably on the budget side. But For an unfinished neck, I'm quite impressed with it. There we go, nearly done. Okay, those are like that. Soak right in, I think, and then we'll give it a bit of off. Get rid of all the excess off, and then the neck is pretty much ready to be built. I've got the spacers on order for the tuning pegs, so they'll fit nicer. They should be here in the next couple of days or so. Okay, I think that's enough on there. Let that dry. Move that out of the way just to dry and get nice. And what I was thinking as well, on the black of the body, if you can see that, there's a little tiny bit of gold pearl in there. I'm thinking about doing a tiny little bit of that over. Just basically brush it on with the paintbrush, so it's not going to be as heavy as that. Just over the black, nowhere else, just over the black, I think, just to tone the black down a little bit more and give it more of an interest and tone in with the red. So I might do that. It's going to be the gold pearl. Quite a nice pearl actually, very translucent, so it should be quite nice. If we just do it nice and subtle, I think that might be a nice little effect. So I think the next stage is get the body back in the garage and get some clear on it. Again, I'll be using the HB Bodyline clear coat, and I've managed to get some new cups, so it's going to be a lot easier to mix this time because everything's all pre-measured, so I can go to 2:1. Probably going to need a small bit anyway, but then I'm going to actually mix it up and then dispense a little bit into another pot so I can add the pearl into that. So I'm going to have to mix 2 lots of clear, if that makes sense. To the 2. Should be enough. I can always mix some more if needs be. And then a little bit of the hardener. Crispy bits out. Just that much. Got myself a proper mixing stick as well, instead of using a screwdriver. Might as well use the proper stuff. A good stir. Just get around all the edges. Could obviously not smell of vision because this stuff stinks. And I've got to put my gun back together because I've stripped it down to get some tissue. I've got to put my gun back together because I stripped it down to clean it, so I'm going to put that back together in a sec. But first of all, I'll get another pot. I think they was about £7 or £8 for 50 pots, so pretty good value. So I'm going to stick a slight bit in there, I think. Probably about that much because I'm not going to need a massive amount. And then a little tiny bit of gold pearl. I think that'll do. I don't want to go too mad. It's just to add a little bit of detail and tone the black down, like I've always said. And as you can see in there, it's very translucent. Just more of an effect than the paint. I shouldn't actually stir while I'm speaking because you can never hear me. So you can see it's an actual effect. It's very translucent, so that hopefully should make it tone down the black a little bit and just give it that extra bit of detail. And when the lights are on it, etc., just give it that more of a, you know, interesting look. So what we'll do now, we'll go and well, I'll put the gun together first, so we'll put the guitar in the garage and we'll get some lacquer on it. Okay, so I've cleaned all the dust off it again. So this is going to be the pearl first. It's a pretty cold day today, so drying times are going to be increased quite considerably. So it's probably going to be 20 minutes in between each coat, and I'm probably going to get 4 coats of clear on there after the pearl. So probably going to be taking about 2 hours to paint it all, but I don't mind waiting. I'm going to have to get some sort of heat and extraction in here, I think, eventually, so I can speed up paint jobs. But in winter you've got to take the rough with the smooth, I think. Right, okay, compressor's all ready. Get the gun ready. Really low pressure, really small fan. I'm just going to blow in around the outside edge where the black is, just to try and tone that down a little bit. Right, so that's the first bit of lacquer on there. Ooh. As you can see, a lot better through there. Still quite a little bit of wood grain showing. So if it is actually too bad, the wood grain, I'll probably have to reflat after the clear and then do another couple of coats of clear and then reflat before polish, but that's fine. To get a nicer finish you have to put the hours in. But yeah, I think that gold pearl has just made that little bit of a better transition around there. Really liking that. So we're going to have to leave that 10-20 minutes, and then we'll get the pure clear on. But yeah, I'm really happy with how that's looking. With that enhanced wood grain as well now, I think it's going to really stand out with the clear on it. Get some nice depth to it. I'll put 4 or 5 coats on so it gets a really nice deep sort of gloss to it as well, as you can see there with the red. I'll do you a close up in a bit of the actual pearl. Just see it nice with the sun hits it there. Like the light hits it there. No sun in here. Okay. Yeah, lovely. Okay, so it's been a good 20 minutes. So it should be, yeah, it's pretty much dry actually. Well, say dry, touch dry, because it's still got a nice tack to it. So now we're going to do one good coat of clear all over, and then again 20 minutes, half an hour before we put the next one on. But yeah, I think that looks really nice. Gold, just tone down the black a little bit. Okay, next stage. A bit more pressure. That's one coat. Not too bad actually. It's going on nice. So probably I think I'll only 3, maybe 4 more coats. and I think we'll be in business. A little bit peely through there, so the next coat I'll see if I can flow a little bit more material out, increase the pressure slightly just to let it flow out a little bit more. Yeah, looking nice. Okay, do is get another one on, another full coat, build up the clear a little bit more. Oh. Oh. That's not what you want, is it? I'll find my switch, turn that off, turn the air off, don't drain all that. Now I'm going to try and get past this without touching it, just get my eyes adjusted. Right, we'll try again after a little power cut. Give it a chance for paint to dry though. Nice and soft still. So it should be nice and tacky for the next coat. So this will be the third coat. It's a little bit dotty there, a little bit silicone-y. So I may have to flat that and put another coat on. And this is dry. That's not a problem. What I'm doing now is get another one on. That even could be a little bit of neck oil that's transferred over. Got a little bit of cross-contamination to cause that there. So you've got to be so careful when you're working with oils and things like that, and you're working with paint, it can cause so many problems. I think that's probably what that is. Right, I can get around that. Right, see if this works now. So let that set. I'm going to do one more coat, I think. The front's looking perfect. Really happy with that. I may do after these clear, I may flat it and then do one more, maybe 2 more coats of clear in the week, just to give it a bit more depth and to get rid of this reaction here. But other than that, I'm really happy. Okay, so now that's set, I'm going to do the last coat and then we'll leave it to set. There we go, 4 good coats. I'll just grab you so you can have a closer look. A bit disappointed about that reaction, but I'm sure I can fix that. As you can see the reaction there. See how it's got like a little dots in it. That hopefully will flat out. I can put some more clear on that to get rid of that. But other than that, really happy. I think that grain's come out really nice. Yeah, really pleased. Once that's flattened and polished, should be a really nice deep shine on that. Nice deep reflection. See the orange peeling, but that'll go. Get a nice flat finish. Just grab my torch, you can have a look at the pearl then. There, see? Really subtle. Adds that extra bit of detail, extra bit of expensive look to it. Yeah, I'm really pleased how that's come out. Just around the outside edge. This as the light catches it, you just see the gold. There you go on the bottom there, look. Look at that, nice. Very subtle. Normal light and dark lights you'll see it when sunlight hits it or stage spotlights. That'll really shine up. Give that extra bit of bling to it. So look at the edge grain. Yeah, really nice. Yeah, really pleased. Just fill that grain in nicely. Could flatten the polish. Just a bit disappointed about that, but I can fix that. Yeah. Oh well. So it happens, I suppose, when you're working with oils as well as solvents. I'm going to mix. Yeah, it looks really nice on there as well. Just having that sort of burnt flame look with the gold in there as well. Perfect. Okay, so we'll let that sit for a good 3 or 4 days. I'm expecting snow in the next couple of days as well, so we'll see how that goes, because that does affect drying times. Got a nice deep shine on that. Perfect. Okay, that's it for this video, I think. Next one will be maybe flattening and polishing, but I'll probably do that if I have to do more clearing. I'll probably do that off camera anyway, because you've seen all this how I've done it anyway, so you don't want to see that again. So it'll be flattening and polishing. I'll show you how I do that. Flat it with a 1500 and a 2000, and we'll buff it back up to a nice mirror finish. Then we can start choosing pickups and putting the hardware on, bolting the neck on and the wiring, and then see how it sounds. Oh, a little slight run there. That's no problem. Yeah, lovely. Really, really pleased. So, if you like this video, please like, comment and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one.